My son called you? He got...
You wanted the titles?
No, he wanted recordings. So he said he wants a recording.
Yeah, I spoke to him.
And he got it from you? Huh?
Yeah.
So I don't have to...
Make your record. That's a shot. Basically. Tev Mashnaim and Echad, you know.
What, that's the other one?
It's a video.
This is better. This is better.
Also records.
This is much better.
Fine. Last week, I was speaking about the Maimer Chazal that Gamliel, people said that when Moshiach will come, the land Eretz Yisrael will give out Gloscaux or Klei Milas. Gloscaux means ready-made to eat bread, good bread, and Klei Milas is either woolen, fine woolen clothes or silk clothes. And I discussed different points from the gate of Maimer Chazal, how it's exactly is it going to happen, Begashmi, so on and so forth. There's another few nukudas that I wanted to discuss regarding this Maimer Chazal, another few points. First of all, why does he say that Eretz Yisrael will give out Gluskois and Klei Milas? The land of Israel will give out this food, the food and the clothes. Why doesn't he say that the earth will give out? The Sida
Okay, yeah.
Truth is, I didn't see an explanation regarding this point, this particular Maimer Chazal. But the famous Sikha, the Rebbe has in Vutei Sichas Cheduch Chav Zayin and Parshas Chukoisei, the famous Sikha regarding the Rebbe lays down the whole Shita, the whole explanation, that even according to the Rambam, there are two periods in the days of Moshiach. One is going to be natural, one is supernatural. The Rebbe discussed a certain Maimer Chazal. There's one Maimer Chazal says that the Ilon Yisrak, fruit, trees that don't bear fruit will bear fruit when Moshiach will come. So one Maimer Chazal says it will happen in Eretz Yisrael. Another Maimer Chazal doesn't say Eretz Yisrael, just says Stam, just says plain, that trees that don't give fruit will give fruit when Moshiach will come. And basically what it boils down to is that the Rebbe discusses different over here, different nekudas, but the Rebbe explains that first of all, the Rebbe brings down there's a sheet of there's one of the opinions amongst Gedolei Yisrael is that all the supernatural promises that we have regarding Mashiach will take place only in Eretz Yisrael. The Rambam B'chlal holds, he writes, you don't have to believe that there will be supernatural things B'chlal. Other people, the Ravid disagrees. He says, no, it's going to be was haste, he does believe in all the supernatural things. The Radvaz, the Radak, there's a certain shit amongst Gedolei HaMefarshim that they learn Pshat, that in Eretz Yisrael, Taka will be these things. The rest of the world, there won't be a change. So according to that Mahal, according to that way of understanding, so it's regarding this particular Maimer Chazal, that it says that the land of Israel will give out ready-made food and clothes, you could say that according to that sheet, it's understood it's going to be Dafka in Eretz Yisrael. What does that mean?
What does it mean?
Those different explanations what it means. One thing that
can be the shachas of this whole thing.
So if so, there's no point in being Eretz Yisrael.
That's the meaning.
Why do you say that I see the Eretz Yisrael tastes Gluskos? What's Dafka Eretz Yisrael? The ganze Welt doch sein Eretz Yisrael. Once the whole world is Eretz Yisrael, it's right no point of mentioning Eretz Yisrael.
That's the meaning of that. It means that of course it's Eretz Yisrael, the whole world is maybe good,
the Zachs between me Sinyonim inside the mile of Eretz Yisrael. Sure, it's such a way of learning. The Rebbe at the end of the Sikha,
if it's only Eretz Yisrael,
yeah,
and the whole world won, so there won't be Yidden for sure will come to Eretz Yisrael.
The real reason to fight for Eretz Yisrael. The Arabs really going to fight for Eretz Yisrael. Now it's a lot delicious. But then
since I'm going,
the real estate is really very valuable.
If a guy will live in Eretz Yisrael, he won't have this.
He won't have it.
Pashas not.
That's going to be trees he's able to take from.
The Rebbe at the end of the Sikha, the Rebbe finishes off, the way the Rebbe explains it is that according to the Rambam, there's going to be two periods. One period is that there will be a change of nature, there won't be any change of nature. Second period, there will be a change of nature. The way the Rebbe learns Pshat, very interesting. The that in the second period, when there'll be a change of nature, so it's going to be like that in the whole world. There's no difference in Eretz Yisrael and the whole world. However, in the first period, where it won't yet be a change of nature, there are opinions that say that in Eretz Yisrael you'll have, in other words, the Rebbe learns. The Rebbe learns the Negei different Maimer Chazal. I'm Negei this Maimer Chazal. The Rambam anyway learns this Maimer Chazal, as we discussed last week. He learns it not literally, but the Rebbe does explain there that according to the way the Rebbe explained, that one period things will be natural, another period will be supernatural, the world nature will be changed. So then, when the nature is changed, means it's not a miracle anymore. You also have to understand in the scholarship of David and the idea behind it. The second period, and let me just finish. In the second period, when the whole world, let's say, everything will be. All these miracles that we're saying, we won't call it a miracle. It's going to be the nature. This will not be the nature of the world. In the first period, the nature of the world wouldn't change, but some opinions regarding another issue, regarding the Elon Nisrak, that will be in Eretz Yisrael as a nace, as a miracle, as a change of nature will happen. Al derech zeh, similarly, perhaps, just saying as a b'derech efshir, I'm just saying, perhaps just taking liberty of maybe saying that similarly, maybe in this Maimer Chazal, that if it's going to be a change of nature, it will apply throughout the whole world. But he's talking about it at a time when it's still not going to affect the whole world. The whole world will still be ruled according to the laws of nature. But in Eretz Yisrael, to be a special mace that will give out Gulskais to claim milas.
The Rebbe explains the difference between the two shittas in Eliyahu and Eliyahu Navi. But the Rebbe's masbid over there to make sure the Rebbe said how Shach. The whole kasha, the whole sikh is the question how Shach will be able to place some tzitz. And the Rebbe drives to the direction that the Pshat is Eliyahu. Both are true, but the question is how's he going to come? In other words, the nissim he's going to do, Eliyahu Navi coming. Is he coming as part of Moshiach or is he coming as before? Let me see. Eliyahu went to Asar Shemaim. If says, hey, it's Nissim, but it was not as Chelik Moshiach. That's the question.
Right.
Similar. These only young, it could be a kav of these kind of things.
No, so the Rebbe said, okay. So, regarding this point you mentioned, the Rebbe explains, according to the Rambam learns, according to the idea behind the whole concept there's going to be two periods in times of Mashiach, is based on the understanding that there's certain things that are connected with Mashiach, certain things that will happen at some point in history. Things that are connected with Mashiach, the Rambam learns very strongly, do not have to, at least, involve the change of nature. Then there's other promises that Eretz Yisrael will give off, all the Elon Nisrak will have fruit, that the chveis, the day you sow it in the ground, will grow. These promises are not associated in Torah with Mashiach. It's associated with the schar for Torah mitzvahs. So the Rebbe learns the second period is not a period which comes as something which Mashiach has to do. The second period, so to say, theoretically, obviously it all comes. We all know it's going to be an effect of the avodah of Mashiach in the world. But the Rambam learns when we look at the Torah, we have to make a distinction. A pasuk that speaks about Mashiach and what he does in the world. So anything in those psukim which seem to be speaking about a change of nature, we're not obligated to learn literally. You could learn them as b'derech moshe, that it's metaphorically. Those psukim that speak about nisim that will take place, which are not directly associated with Moshiach, that will happen in the second kufa.
Before us, okay. But it's not the chilek of the Mashiach.
Yeah. So Mamela, so Negei, this pasuk, the Rebbe points out. Look in Kudesich is Chelach of Zayin, Ha'ara 77. The Rebbe speaks Bamish this Nekuta. Pasuk he fisas bar ba'aretz. Pasuk which said from where they learned out that the earth will give out, ready-made food and clothes. The pasuk is directly speaking about Mashiach. The whole capital Tilamayim Beit starts the Shloimei Lekimish B'Tachatein. The ganze capital speaks about Shloimei, Mashiach, whatever. So Mamela, this pasuk is directly coming as a continuation of what Mashiach will accomplish in the world. Mela, the Rambam learns, if the pasuk is speaking about a change in nature, it doesn't have to be taken Kipshute literally. If it will be Stama pasuk, if it will be Stama Maimer Chazal, negate that in the future this thing will happen, the Rambam wouldn't have a problem taking it literally, you don't say it will happen in the second period. But a Maimer Chazal that's directly associated with Mashiach has to do, the Rambam learns that the definition of Mashiach doesn't involve the change in nature. So a Pasuk or Maimer Chazal that is telling me what Mashiach has to do, that I don't, if it's a, that he learns with Derech Moshe. Or at least doesn't have to be Kipshut.
But doesn't he ever say in the Sikha that the Rambam holds that these things that are in the first Kuf are going to be Derech Moshe, in the second Kuf are going to be Kipshut?
The Rebbe doesn't say that in this Sikha.
No?
In the Chelach of Zion, it's not there. In what the Rebbe does say is that it could happen also in the first Kufa Kipshute. In the Sikhs that the Rebbe spoke about this particular Maimer Chazal, the Rebbe said in the first period it could happen.
The Rebbe says clearly, the Rambam says it's not definitely in Yanim. The Rebbe says,
Right.
quotes the Rambam himself. The
Right.
Rambam says that I just, it's not muchlich.
It doesn't have to be.
that way.
Doesn't the Rambam says if you bring me proof that it has to be taken literally, I'll accept it. But until I have a proof to say it has to be taken literally.
Never, in other words, never for the Rambam. The Rambam writes clearly, all in Yonim are Moshel v'chido.
So the Rebbe learns that the Rambam is not saying that it has to be, that all these things that he's writing shouldn't be taken literally, it has to be that way. Rachmana litzlan, to say that it'll happen literally. The Rambam is trying to say that's not, but Moshiach doesn't have to do this. Don't think that it has to be this way. Could it be this way? Yes. It could. That's the way the Rebbe, huh?
The Rambam writes.
Right, but in Hilchas Mulachim, it's not so clear. If you learn Hilchas Mulachim, it looks as if the Rambam is telling you, don't talk yourself into Baba Mice, it's not going to happen. The Rambam himself explains somebody was trying to say.
His Rai is from Makazif. Akiva was an Esekelo, and he didn't do any.
Anyway, fine. Getting back, that was one that I wanted to speak about. So like I mentioned, so the question is, what is going to be? Why is the edit's going to give out ready-made food and clothes? So if you say it's even connected to Afkut Eretz Yisrael, it's a mile of the Yidden, or it's mitzvah that the Yidden will be on a level that for them their earth, like the Rebbe explained and discussed in the past, that the earth will give out ready-made things because the physical earth will be connected with its source, the words of Hashem, so everything will come out completely without any time. So it could be that it's not connected with the Yidden in their situation, but eventually, l'choira, yesh loymar, this will be in the whole world. L'choira. Stop, I'm just mentioning this as a side point.
So why? So what's the meaning of that? Chazal, let's say it's
Because in the beginning of the Afkut Eretz Yisrael.
that's it, Johnson.
Or, I mean, I'm saying, I don't know. I'm just saying it could be that eventually it will be in the whole world.
The Rebbe speaks about why he's aiming at God. In other words, there has to be union close to this and being Shittas. You know, in it is Yisrael, it's the Neagagas, Chutz Loretz, and the Pazinetz Yisrael, and over there is community.
Yeah, fine, good.
The Rebbe says Shachas Yisrael, Mashiach's coming.
Of course, Mashiach comes to Eretz Yisrael.
I understand, but its pshat is that there is the between.
Yeah, obviously there. So again, I told you that the Radvaz, the Radak, they clearly learn that all the Yudim Nisim, the supernatural promises about Mashiach will happen in Eretz Yisrael. It will happen supernaturally. The rest of the world, it won't happen. They clearly learned that way. That there's something special about Eretz Yisrael. They didn't. That'll happen. Anyway, fine. Another thing I wanted to explain was more this Maimer Chazal al Pi Chassidus. I discussed it a little bit last week, but a little bit more discussion about this. It's a nice Maimer Chazal. We all know people say candies will grow on trees. Like I mentioned last week, I still haven't found the source for that, but it does say that the Guloskois, the bread actually does say it will grow on a tree. Why? Because it says that before Chet Eitz Hadas, it says the Chita, Rabbi Yehuda says the whole thing, what was the Eitz Hadas? What was the tree of knowledge? Different opinions in Gemara, Midrash. One opinion in Medrash is that it was wheat. If it's wheat, how is it called a tree? So it's explained that then, before Chet Eitz Hadas, the stalk of wheat grew like a tree, and on top of the stalk you had ready-made bread to eat. Didn't have to, grind it and bake it.
Like that.
Yeah, so when Mashiach will come, it will return to the way it was then. So Mamela that Kumta is that you could say it will grow that the bread will grow on trees, if you're not going to use that expression. But it's Chalif, and getting back to the point I wanted to say, it's very nice to know, it's very exciting, but there's a deeper Indian obviously in this whole thing. So there's a few nukudas, some nukudas are very simple to understand. First of all, the whole reason, explain Chassidus and Kabbalah, why today the food that we give, even in Pshuti Mikra really, particularly the way it's explained in Chassidus and Kabbalah, the whole reason why when you have food today, we have to work hard for it is because there's why can we have ready-made food to eat? It's because there's klipa, there's begashmis. You have a fruit. There's the shell. The shell is thrown out, right? The shell protects the fruit, but it's thrown out. There's psalis, there's junk, there's a waste product that comes along together with every food. In wheat, you have the shells, you have the stalk, which is Michael Behema at best. It's a klipa. So because there's klipa in the world, and so when Mela things come out that way, particularly we know that after Chet Tzadas, the earth was cursed, yeah. That you have to, with you're going to eat bread with the sweat of your face. You have to work hard for it.
And Masechta say to that, all the things that happened. Another time, from after
yeah, good. Yeah, so what happens is that the Chet Tzadas caused that there should be a mixture of good and bad in the world. So everything you have is, even the physical world is good and bad, and so you have every product is waste. But Moshiach will come, there won't be any ruach hatumah. So everything will come. There won't be any same way beruchnis. There won't be yetzer hara. There won't be pselis. There won't be any klipa. You hear the word klipa. Klipa literally means a shell, something that blocks tusha. You won't have that. So similarly, in the physical food, in the clothes, whatever you have. Today, when you make clothes, it's all avoida. You take wool. It's a process to get it ready to use and to spin it into thread. But Moshiach will come, will be ready, prepared. There won't be any need for the avoida of a person because there won't be any psailus, won't be any waste, and also won't be a need for the person to work. That whole idea of working. Chassidus explains the idea of Avedas HaBirurim. You have to work for your food, as spiritually represents the idea of refining the food. So you won't need to do that when Mashiach will come. On a more of a Dremes thing, the Tzemach Tzedek explains that wheat refers to Torah. Lachem, bread is Torah. So the fact that the gluskois, the bread will grow without any shells, without any coverings, represents it will be the revelation of Pnimis HaTorah without any concealments. Godliness will be revealed. The same way the physical bread will grow, there won't be any shells, there won't be any, you'll just cut it and eat it. So too, the Pnimis HaTorah will be revealed without any concealments. Then there is deeper in Yonim here. You have in Mekutei Torah, the Rebbe quoted a number of times, in Leid HaTorah and Mitzvah Rebbe also, they speak about this, is that we know that in general there are two inyanim that are nimshach through our avodah. There's pnimi and makif. When you learn Torah, for example, Chassidus explains Torah is compared to what's called the pnimi, a light that a person gets internally. Just like Torah, you understand and you're able to think over and becomes part of your intellect. Mitzvah, so the Alter Rebbe explains in Tanya and Perek in Perek Daled is makifim, is levushim. They surround. There's this transcending light, like the Alter Rebbe brings in the Kudei Torah. The simple thing, a person can do a mitzvah without any kavana. It doesn't explain. A mitzvah is more a transcending thing you do with Kabbalah, so it's not necessarily part of you. Torah is something you understand becomes part of you. So at any rate, the gluskois and the klei milas represent in the lashon of Chassidus. They represent pnimium and makifim. Oiris pnimium, oiris makifim. They represent food, which is godly light, which is internalized, and then the garments, the silk garments, represent the godly light, which is transcending. And first of all, is that these things when Mashiach will come, will be completely on the highest level. The same way the bread is also explained. Mitzvah Rebbe says this a number of times, and the Rebbe quotes this a number of times also. It says in the Zohar, there's a type of bread the Zohar calls lechem panog. Lechem panog, like good tasty bread. There's lechem oini, this poor man's bread. And then the opposite of that the Zohar calls is lechem panog, bread of tainug. Spiritually, this is a very high level, but if you look at Gashmias, the Gluskois will be very geschmack, and the Klei Milas, the silk clothes, is going to be very honorable begotten for Bnei Yisrael, for the Jewish people. So the fact that the earth will give out gluskois and klei milas, first of all, it means that the pnimim and makifim, all the spiritual oiris, will be betachlis hashlemus. There's a much deeper nekuda, however, here that you won't need avoida. It says the earth will give it out. So the Samach Tzedek explains there won't be need for all these great amshachas to come. There won't be a need for sarusa dul sata. It won't, but Chassidus explains, usually now our whole avodah is sarusa dul sata, sarusa dul leila. Through our arousal from below, we cause an arousal from above that causes these things, these revelations to come down. And then we know the certain levels that even a person's avodah, a person's service, as great as it can be, can't reach there. So Moshiach will come, those levels that are totally beyond our reach, so to say, that our avodah in this time can't reach, will be revealed when Moshiach will come on their own. And the Mittel Rebbe goes a step deeper. I can't say he explains that what does it mean that the earth will give out gluskois and klei milas, bread and clothes. He explains the earth is Sfiras HaMalchus. Sfiras HaMalchus is Knesset Yisrael, the Jewish people. And he says that now our avoid, how we mamshech halakus. So now our avoid is more with our koiches pnimim. We deal with we learn Torah, we do mitzvahs, Kabbalah, so we refine ourselves, and we draw down godliness. All according to Torah's draws down this level of worm, which draws down makifim. When Mashiach will come, he says Yidden will be called the Eretz Chayfetz. What's Pshat Eretz Chayfetz? The land of Hashem's desire. That Yidden says the avoid of Yidden will come from the most innermost desire to David. We'll call it in simple terms Yechidah Sheb'nefesh. He'll serve Hashem not from a level based on Kabbalah soil and understanding and thus, but will come mamish from the Etzem HaNefesh, Yechidah Sheb'nefesh. So Mela Yidden will be called, that's a Siddah Ha'aretz goes on the Yidden, on the Neshama of the Yid. Mela now we're mamshich through Torah mitzvahs, we're mamshich it is pnim, it is makifim, loss of love, the avoid of Yid will be in a total different level, that will be in a level of Yechidah Sheb'nefesh. So Mela, all the oiras, gluskois, klei milas, will all come out on its own. You won't need to work, and thus it's going to be, it's going to be the Eretz will give out. The Eretz represents the Eretz Chayfetz, the push, the connection with Eibush, Yechidah Sheb'nefesh will be so revealed that it's going to be on a much greater level and automatic. You won't have to today. It's a whole avodah to learn Torah, to do mitzvahs. You have to inspire yourself and nothing else. Mashiach will come. You'll do it all from the Etzem of your Neshama Mela Doida. So your mamshich will be. You won't have to work for it. It will come with Derech Mela, and it's going to be Shaloi Berech higher. This is it might be rephrased a little bit what Mittel Rebbe is saying, but this is the nekuda that he says. So this is another aspect of a much deeper understanding. What it means, the Sidorish Deisikel is Kois Klei Milas Apich Sidis, not talking about a physical knife of Yiddish Weiße Zemelach, white fine flour, bread, and bulkis.
Healthy things.
Yeah, but that's like the says that all the great in Yonam will be revealed. B'derech Mamela, and it's gonna be betachlis hashleimus. It will come from the etzem of a yid. He won't have to start working on himself. This avodah, that avodah. There's another nekuda here. The Mittel Rebbe speaks a lot about this. He explains that the Gluskot, I once discussed about the Sudas of Yosin and Sher Habor. So I've pumped this week, I saw a man with Mittel Rebbe, he says, the Rebbe doesn't learn that way. He writes here, Chatz v'sholom, that's his last use, Chatz v'sholom to say it's going to be a physical meal. The Yosin and Sher Habor represent spiritual great revelations. He uses the Lashon, the Rebbe clearly said that we'll be gashes like a meal. I saw that man Lashon Chas v'Sholom to say that it's going to be Mittel Rebbe starting the mind to say it's going to be so the gash Chas v'Sholom. Huh? It's interesting to Ishbra Chas v'Sholom. So the Mittel Rebbe explains that, like I mentioned before, the Lechem Panog, that the Gluskois, he says that the same concept is concept in Zer called Lechem Panog. A bread of tainug of pledge, and he explains that it means the great revelation of tainug of geschmack and godliness, of understanding the secrets of Torah. I guess that when you're going to eat the physical bread, it's not just eating Okay, whether it's eating a physical bread or eating spiritual bread, or the one is, even the mon, the Moshiach, Chassidus explains, the mon was a physical and spiritual food at the same time. You were eating a physical food, but it enlightened your mind and your heart to Torah. So, Akoponim, the Guloskeit, the food that we'll have, he says, in your Lechem Panim, the idea of a great level of Tainug and Torah will be revealed then. But then he says, this is a thing that I didn't mention the last time about the Gosim and Shira Bor, but it's explained in a number of places. Chassidus and Tasamachov, the Rebbe Rashab also discusses this. He said that we know that the Chachamim tell us that Eilam Haba, in the future, there's no eating and drinking. So he says the same way it doesn't just mean there won't be any eating and drinking physically, there won't even be any spiritual eating and drinking. So he says the Guloskeit, Sandal of Yosin and Shera Bar, which are all our different spiritual revelations, this is all before Elam Haba. This is all what he calls an Aleph Hashvi, whatever it might be. It's going to be on one level. A higher level there's no eating and drinking at all. Chassidus explains, which I can't, never really learned it properly and definitely can't explain it, but the Rebbe brings it down. There's a difference between Tainug Ha'atzmi HaMurgish and Tainug Ha'atzmi HaBilti Murgish. A certain level, which revelation of pleasure, which can be, so to say, can be felt, and that's is a term. For that we use the term of eating and drinking. And then there's a certain level of pleasure, such essential level of pleasure, which you can't even use the term eating and drinking. It's not Murgish, whatever pshat is in that neshama versteht. But the Chassidus described in Maimon L'Chodeidi speaks about this also. It's a level of tainug which can't be expressed in anything. It's a simple tainug. When you eat something, you have tainug. The tainug is being connected with something. Here, it's a simple pleasure from that Tzimah Nefesh. It can't be expressed and connected with any particular inyan.
That tainug is only going to be when?
So that's going to be in Eilam Haba. In other words,
Eilam Haba after Moshiach comes.
And after Moshiach comes, you have first Gluskois, and thus eventually be another level called Eilam Haba. Chassidus happens maybe after Aleph Hashvi. You don't want to get into it. No, you don't understand the pleasure you're getting. No, the time.
You want it right away. 2,000 years we suffer.
No, there's gonna be aliyahs. What do you think? Everything you want, everything. When you have a meal, first you have this, then that prepares you for the next course. Then that prepares you for the next course. You want to have everything will happen right away.
Until you don't eat. That's the next course.
I heard Rabbi once explain. I don't know if it was this Indian, but he explained this shlav, this calf, to understand a little bit what the meaning of things are. He said that the way the world is in a different calf. We're going away from here. There's a chushim ha'adam. There's closer to the etzem. The closest one to the adam is Riyah. Riyah has the greatest impact. It's a makim dikasi. You don't understand it, but it's a fact. You can't. Only the dinim are the strongest because Riyah is the strongest. And all these levels, there's feeling for the tainu is one of the chushim. All these chushim are chushim that are shaykhis to the shlavim of the geluim of the kurs till through the highest levels of geluim. And then he said that the highest level is higher than Ein of Riyah is that a person can sit in the darkest room himself and he feels himself. The Hegesh Atzmi, a person feels himself, doesn't need something out of him to tell it to him. It's me. How do you know you are you and you're not me? If I sit down and explain you with seichel that you're not me, I'm you and you're me. As I want to explain to you and show you rayis and achachas, it can't turn away from the fact that I am me because I'm my essence. The gila and the asid love, all the other achilish to yes, you take it out. You are the greatest tanugim are out of you. Aliyah is saying something out of you. The gila and the asid love is the gila hatzmi, you yourself. A person will be margish. He is godliness. He is God. God is Him. This is what what he is. This whole sees is gone. So therefore, he won't need a chiddush to be mechayim.
Don't need
That's your etzim. That's what you are. And that the older levels, the tanugim of that is the understanding of that, the feeling of that, everything's you.
Fine.
Shot it? Yeah, I don't know. You press. You just press.